Thank you, Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first of today's two groups, the Terrier group here at Crufts 2014. But before we see the dogs enter the ring, it's my pleasure to introduce the judge. Today's judge is a much respected Terrier exhibitor, handler and judge who's best known for his soft-coated Wheaten Terriers, his Kerry Blues and his Irish Terriers and Welsh Terriers. He was born into a family with terriers and first awarded challenge certificates in 1975 and is now approved by the Kennel Club to award challenge certificates in 6 breeds within the Terrier group. He's certainly no stranger to Crufts Dog Show, as in 1991 he judged the Wire Fox Terriers, and then in 1998 he judged the Welsh Terriers. Ladies and gentlemen, will you give a warm Crufts welcome to Mr. Gerard Morris. Being escorted into the ring by Gerald King, Chairman of the Crufts Committee.
So you join us for the third of our Crufts 2014 groups. This, the Terrier group. Gerard Morris, our judge. A man well experienced with Terrier breeds. I believe he's been involved with Kerry Blues, Welsh.
Wires, Irish Terriers, yes.
They're being led in by the Airedale
Here they
Terrier.
come.
And here's the first of his best of breeds. This, the Airedale Terrier.
Followed by the Australian Terrier.
And here comes the Australian Terrier, a blue and tan.
And the Bedlington Terrier.
The graceful little Bedlington Terrier.
Now it's the turn of the Border Terrier.
Now, very workmanlike. It's the Border Terrier.
The Bull Terrier.
The gladiator of this group, the Bull Terrier.
Followed by the Miniature Bull Terrier.
The Miniature Bull Terrier, same thing in a smaller mould.
And just as naughty.
And now it's the turn of the Cairn Terrier.
The Cairn Terrier.
The Chesky Terrier.
Here comes the Chesky now.
The Dandy Dinmont Terrier.
And quite the most beautiful face in the group, the Dandy Dinmont Terrier.
The Smooth Fox Terrier.
If you want smartness, he's the Smooth Fox Terrier.
And the Wire Fox Terrier.
And in a nice harsh jacket, the Wire Fox Terrier.
Now it's the turn of the Glenavimale Terrier.
Something quite different, the Glenavimale, native of Ireland.
Followed by the Irish Terrier.
And another Irishman, the Irish Terrier with that glorious
The
coat.
Terrier.
And yet another from Ireland, it's the Kerry Blue.
And the Lakeland Terrier.
The Lakeland Terrier.
Now we have the Manchester Terrier.
Manchester Terrier, smooth and sleek.
The Norfolk Terrier.
Busy little Norfolk Terrier. The folded
And the
ears, of
Norwich
course.
Terrier.
Here's the cousin, the Norwich. Pricked ears on this one.
The Parson Russell Terrier.
The Parson Russell.
The Scottish Terrier.
Here's the Scotty best of breed from a big entry.
And unusually a Wheaten instead of black.
The turn of the Sealyham Terrier.
The glorious Sealyham. I
The
love this
Skye
breed.
Terrier.
Longest dog in the group, it's the Skye Terrier.
The soft-coated Wheaten Terrier.
And here's the soft-coated Wheaten Terrier.
The Staffordshire Bull Terrier.
And biggest entry, the Staffy comes in.
The Welsh Terrier.
And here's the Welsh.
And finally, the West Highland White Terrier.
Yes, smart as paint, the Westie.
That completes the dogs in the group, so I'll now hand over to my colleagues Jonathan Daltrey and Annette Oliver for further commentary.
Thanks very much, King. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my very
So there's our
pleasure
Terrier
along with
group.
my colleague, Annette
Gerard
Oliver,
Morris going to take a look down the line to see what he's got in there. Of course, he won't know for sure till he gets his hands on the dogs, but it's a nice start just to look at the outline, the balance, and the quality of the best of breeds he's been given by the judges.
Explain a little about the fine specimen. that we see before us.
And this first walk round is good for relaxing the judge as well on the big occasions.
Well, you know only too well, don't you, Frank, having been in there yesterday?
And others, above and below ground. Dogs of terrier type have been known here since ancient
Oh, that's a
times.
lovely outline, isn't it?
And a different outline, racier outline in the
Of course,
Australian.
comes from the Latin word terra, meaning
There's the
earth.
little Bedlington. Lamb-like in appearance, aren't
Distinctive
they?
outline. There, wonderful coating on this Border Terrier.
The Bull Terrier, unmistakable, that profile, the egg-shaped head, isn't it?
Mischievous miniature Bull Terrier, not settling.
I'm far too busy to be a show dog.
There, the Cairn and the Chesky Terrier.
They're such a distinctive shape, aren't they?
And another distinctive shape, fantastic, the Dandy Dinmont.
Of the Crufts or breed show
The smooth
held
fox
in
terrier.
1891. This took place at the long since demolished
There's the wire,
Royal
absolutely on his toes there.
Well, they should be, shouldn't they? It says in the breed standard, on the tiptoes of expectation.
There's the Glenivere Marl, very different substance and style.
Around 1960,
The racy lines of the Irish there,
the dog found the Football World Cup
the distinctive Kerry
trophy
Blue.
under a bush in South London after it had been stolen.
There's the Lakey, it's a red.
There was a total of 2,000
That's such a smart outline, isn't it?
terriers,
There's the smooth lines, smooth curving lines of the Manchester Terrier.
488 entries across the 26 breeds.
The Norfolk, busy little tail going.
And another one, compact and cobby,
So as Gerard gets
the
towards
Norwich.
the end of his first look of the best of breed winners in
The
terrier,
Parson Russell, such a popular breed.
let's take this opportunity.
And it's nice to see a Wheaton Scotty, isn't
Absolutely,
it?
from a huge entry, I saw her winning that, and a beautiful looking sky, celium there.
There's the Sky. Mad as a box of frogs.
Yes, these-
Soft-coated Wheaton Terriers.
And the Staffordshire Bull Terrier, coming from over 300 of them here today.
The Welsh Terrier. And at the end of the line here, the little Westie.
The first dog for Gerard to examine more closely is
So the Airedale Terrier is the first of the group and the king of the terriers. This is Kira, 3-year-old bitch, owned by Judith Averis and Tony Barker, bred by Katerina Kantijewska. So obviously been imported, I would have thought, Frank.
From Eastern Europe, yes.
This is the largest of all the terriers, and originating in the valleys of Ayr and Wharfdale in Yorkshire. Known as the king of the terriers, was also once known as the waterside or the Bingley terrier.
Beautiful shot of the head there.
The Airedale has
The
remarkable sense
tallest of the terriers, lovely clean lines. Look at that length of head, clean skull.
aided the Red Cross in times of war and has seen service with police and in the armed forces of both Britain and Russia.
And there she goes. King of the Terriers, tallest in the group,
An Airedale named Duke.
should be fairly compact, not leggy, and should move cleanly. Developed in the Wharfdale and Ayr valleys as vermin dogs, but hugely versatile, used in the army as, in the trenches to carry messengers.
And their separate classification came in a stud book 2 years later in 1886.
The Airedale Terrier, 5375. And now for the Australian Terrier.
Might be the biggest of the terriers, but nothing coarse about this, is there?
And wonderful companions. If you've owned an Airedale, you'll never leave the breed because they make fantastic family pets.
A dog. They are said to have originated along similar lines to those of the Australian Silky Terrier, which will be seen later in the toy group. Developed in
So this is the Australian Terrier. This is Mickey, 3 years old,
British Terrier breed.
owned by Britton Thornblad and Sonia Riemann Walden, bred by Sonia and by Marcus Walden as well, imported from Sweden.
Tenacious and spirited,
Yes, this
the Australian Terrier became
low to ground, good length of back. This is a blue and tan, all the way from Sweden, where the breed is very popular. Developed in the 19th century in Australia from Scottish breeds, but like many of the terriers, good vermin dogs.
He's got a ready-for-anything approach to life and enjoys exercise and plenty of play.
with perfection of
Lovely outline there.
This breed is another extreme.
And the Swedes are such clever dog breeders, aren't they?
And we see coming forward, clean action, wedge-shaped head, looks very alert. Should be quite a hard coat on the Australian. Like,
he selected the bitch that we see on the table, number 5557, as the best.
Such a characteristic shape of head, that with those filbert-shaped ears. This is the Bedlington Terrier. This one's Izzy, 3 years old, owned and bred by Craig and Christine Richardson. They look like a lamb, but you should never mistake the fact this is a terrier.
First being classified as a breed in 1870.
that distinctive shape and this light mincing action which is called for in the breed standard, and that coat texture quite linty. This one is a blue pigmentation to the skin and coat,
Originally, his role was to catch rabbits for the family pot.
maintaining that outline on the move.
His sporting instincts remain. That's the Bedlington Terrier 5557.
What a sweet expression coming towards you.
303 dogs here today.
Those tassels were kept on the ears to protect them from rats when they were in combat, Jessica, yeah.
In the terrier group.
Protection for the end of the
They were
ears.
judged by Mrs. Melanie Lewis, and it's number 5720, the dog, who is best of breed. This is just the sort of dog one would expect to have his origins in the border between England and Scotland, and was once known as the Reedwater.
Lovely shot of the otter-shaped head of the Border Terrier. This is the second largest entry in the group. This one, Dandy Howe Dr. Walter. Thomas, 3.5 years old, bred by Kate Irving and handled by Dad Ronnie.
And we saw the judge there spanning the rib cage. They should be fairly lean so they could go to ground, thick skin, or pelt as they call it, and a wiry top coat with protective undercoat. Lovely, clean, racy outline, correct tail carriage.
It's no secret that this breed is the dog of choice for our current and our recent past chairman of the Kennel Club.
The best of breed winning Border Terrier 5.
There's no fuss about the Border, is there? And they're such lovely personalities.
They have to be workmanlike, unexaggerated workmanlike, could still do a job of work, striding out cleanly, economical action.
5885, chosen as the best of breed winner. In the 1930s, there was a huge.
This is Amy, 20 months old, owned by Joanna Juvicic and Dinu Catalina, bred, I think, elsewhere. I'm not quite sure where, it doesn't actually say on the sheet. Tremendous substance in the Bull Terrier.
Achieving the largest entry in the show, a staggering 223.
Some find him rather familiar.
Yes, great substance, clean flowing outline, good depth of chest and strong legs and feet, and that wonderful egg-shaped head in outline.
To have good manners.
Alert to absolutely everything, isn't it?
Yes, they're clowns, they love the attention. Striding out well, clean lines.
It was a brindle and white bitch champion Lady Winifred, winning her third and qualifying.
Another imported best of breed today, Jessica. It's been like the United Nations around the rings today here.
I'm sure some of you in the audience must have seen the film many years ago.
It's a powerful dog with such a characteristic outline and that smiling face, those little triangular eyes.
This is the Bull Terrier 5885.
Perhaps not a breed for the novice, but great fun to have.
They're great characters, but they need, sensible owners and strong handling. You have to be strong, yeah.
84 dogs, 85 entries. And best of breed was the dog.
Now the Bull Terrier in miniature, and this one, of course, quite a different colour with that lovely brindle. This is Rafa, 18 months old, owned by Dominic, Elaine and Verity Clark, who also bred it. Just a young dog,
In 1938, a revival
very keen
was
for the
spearheaded
treats.
by Colonel Richard Flynn and a group of fellow
Now,
enthusiasts
same breed standard, but you see the miniature Bull Terriers judged on the table. They should be ideally under 14 inches in height. Judge just looking at the balance and the rib cage there.
Also originating in the 19th century, this dog makes an excellent watchdog and an ideal companion in the home.
Now again, full of temperament, looking round and enjoying the occasion, not phased at all. Again, you want that egg-shaped head, that down face.
I think this one's
Very
proving to be quite a
Yes.
handful to show.
But do you know that I read that Theodore Roosevelt...
I don't think anybody told this young man that he's in the group ring at Crufts. He needs to behave himself.
Second CC today, so not yet a champion, but nearly there.
trousers during the White House function.
Certainly little characters. The best of breed winning miniature bull terrier, 596.
Gerard Morris taking a good look at that. What a sweet face. Although I'm not sure that's a term I should be using
that's right,
about a bull terrier.
8 cairns for Shirley Watson to judge today. And Shirley chose 6-0. 6-2.
This is a Cairn Terrier, 3 years old. Totti, another one that's come from Sweden, belongs to Veronica Danielsson and was bred by Marina Johansson.
History of Mary Queen of Scots.
First CC in this country today,
First recognised as a
but quite a record abroad.
Yes, and very impressive it looks.
by side with those other Scottish
Lovely, alert,
see later in the group, the West Highland White, the Scottish Terrier.
unexaggerated and rugged in type.
He's a very natural little dog, with a slightly shaggy but not unkempt appearance, and his double waterproof coat takes very little effort to...
So there it goes on the move, the little Cairn Terrier.
Yes, the cairn should be absolutely unexaggerated, rugged, good length of leg, medium length
And his expression
of back,
changed from
the tail
studiousness
carried just like this. It's a good tail carriage.
he loves.
Well, this one's a multi-champion abroad, so a dog that's done a lot of winning on the continent.
Cairn Terrier, 6-0.
And what a little showman. That very characteristic head.
128 cairns here today, and look sharply pricked ears. The standard says a varminty expression. It should look like a little rascal. This one does.
The bitch. The national dog of the Czech Republic. The Chesky...
The unmistakable shape and lines of the Chesky Terrier. This is Cheska, 8 years old, so already a veteran but winning best of breed at Crufts. Owned by Wendy Tobianski, who also bred the dog.
Especially if he's going to be part of the family household.
It's a non-CC breed, but 56 best of breeds. This one's done a lot of winning.
Can exhibit...
And it comes from a cross of the Scotty and the Sealyham.
The breed originated in the late 1940s and the early 1950s.
Now, coming from a cross between the Scotty and the Sealyham, this is a bit of a shortcut terrier, where many of the terriers are finger and thumb trimmed, a lot of work. These can have the clippers on the back and the silkier furnishings. And of course that top line is quite distinctive, quite different from a lot of the others.
It's a longer cast dog, isn't it?
6196.
Yes, rectangular in shape. They don't have to get their tails right up, they should be carried fairly low. She is one of the top winners in the breed, and I believe she's been best of breed at Crufts before.
Specialist Francis Chapman King was the Dandy Dinmont Terrier judge today.
Really good front action, striding out, plenty of reach there.
Yes, you can see that. And again, that slight dip and rise in the top line.
Like the border that we saw earlier, the Dandy's origins are the borders of Scotland and England.
And here's another one with a rise in the top line. This is the Dandy Dinmont Terrier, Bonnie, 3 years old, owned by Keith Marshall from Edinburgh. Also bred this one. A gorgeous bitch with that typical Dandy Dinmont head and the most melting eyes you will find in any terrier in the group.
Yes. Distinctive. Look at those beautiful eyes and that little top knot, that silky top knot, which is a characteristic of the head.
What are we looking for on the move here, Frank?
Here we're wanting, you know, the shape is very important. A slight dip behind the shoulders, a rise over the loin, and falling away to the tail. Again, the big skull, strong foreface. They had to do a job of work and keep vermin, so they have big teeth, very distinctive in outline.
The Dandy Dinmont, 6230. The Smooth Fox Terrier...
That has got to be the cutest face, hasn't it? Little ears waving in the breeze.
And you know, they are one of the vulnerable native breeds. Not a lot of puppies bred each year, and you know, if you've met one, They're just adorable, they are.
Form, smooth and wire, is known throughout the world. And is from British
Now, the first of our
origins.
two Fox Terriers, this the Smooth, champion Bell Fox Jukebox. Oh no, it's Jubal Fox, owned by Stefania Civini. They come from Italy, bred by Luc Detri. I've got no other information, but this is a very smart-looking Smooth.
But I can tell you she's a big winner on the continent. Short-backed.
You may well find that the terrier digs up your parts rather quickly.
Yes, it combines this short back, clean neck and shoulders, this tail high set and power in the hindquarters. Hound mark tan and white. Look at that beautiful flow of neck into shoulder. Strong, powerful foreface.
6289, the Smooth Fox Terrier best of breed winner.
Of course, Smooth Fox Terriers, ratters par excellence, and they need that good, long, strong jaw
Yes.
for the job, don't they?
A punishing jaw is what we look for. We could do that.
Now with a very smart wire coat instead. This is the Wire Fox Terrier. This one's 2.5 years old, a dog called King, owned by Ronnie and Dietrich de Munter. They've come all the way from Belgium to compete today. They also bred the dog, handled by Warren in the ring.
Now, the Wire Fox Terrier ring was an exciting place to be because the two top dogs head on in competition today, and here comes the younger dog coming out on top.
He's a cheerful and happy family pet, and they look really their best when nicely trimmed. Great show dog.
Unlike the Smooth,
Smart as paint, and this wonderful crisp coat, tail bang on top, and good hindquarters behind the tail, giving it propulsive power. He defeated in his class today the runner-up for last year's top dog, so it was crowded international ringside to see the two of them. Beautiful dog.
Rated rather unruly Fox Terrier in Three Men in a Boat. Oops.
How delightful.
The cheeky little Norwich coming out to inspect the competition.
6327.
True terrier temperament on show there. Very composed, this Wire Fox, a real show dog.
The cleanness of from skull down the foreface, that there's two parallel lines, nothing bulky, it's clean head.
26, number 6370.
Now, one of the heavier weights of the terriers, this is the Glen of Imal. This is Fergal, 6 years old, owned by Mr. and Mrs. Steph Ashcroft, bred by Kathy George. They've come from Lancashire.
One of the most substantial terriers in the group, quite different to... Yes, he will see quite a heavy weight to get off the table there, Jessica.
Early as 1575, in a book by George Turberville.
He originates in County Wicklow in Ireland, and he was used particularly for going to ground and could bring out a badger with his front legs are slightly bowed, and it says that helps them to draw the badger or the quarry out. Striding out purposefully there, a slight rise over the loin, which is typical of the breed.
And this turn the spit to cook the meat.
The best of breed winning Glen of Imal Terrier, 6370.
Gerard Morris taking a good look at that one.
On the table
I always
now,
think Glen of Imals have the look about them that basically their handlers are there, but they're not paying that much attention to them.
Independent minded. I think yes, independent minds.
02 to emerge triumphant. This is another terrier from the Emerald Isle.
The word racy is often used in conjunction with the Irish Terrier, and you can see why. Such elegant lines, that beautiful neck and head there. This is Dodger, 3 years old, belongs to Tony and Jean Barker and John Averis, handled by John in the ring, and was bred by, it says, Kay Wormsler.
In 1876.
And this is an import from America. Top winner here, best in show at one of the championship shows last year.
Harsh red coat and a graceful racy outline. A bit of a daredevil at heart, reckless, and can be possibly foolhardy where canine opponents are concerned. The breed actually has the softest,
The
most
judge just
gentle
looking at the
disposition,
pads, which is important in the breed, that they should have no cracks or corns on the pads, which is it's
the dog
demanded of the judges to look for strong pads in the breed for a working terrier.
Irish Terriers also have a historical record as a war dog and combat messenger.
This one is comes from the successful kennel of Judy Averis in Uttoxeter. We've seen John Averis with the Airedale Terrier. This is another, two best of breeds in strong terrier competition. Very alert.
Winning Irish Terrier 637.
And such elegant lines, beautifully made.
And this rich red fawn coat is the only colour in which the breed comes. They are racy, as you say, Jessica. Whereas many of the terriers are cobby, compact and short-backed, this has to have raciness and always great temperament.
Irish breed and best breed was awarded to the dog 6490 from an entry of 51.
Now, unmistakable deep chest and beautiful lines of the Kerry Blue Terrier. This is Balboa Ray-Ban. Ray, 4 years old, owned by Roberto Tasselli from Italy, but of course competing here at Crufts and winning best of breed today.
You could never mistake this for anything other than a male Kerry Blue. He looks a stallion of a dog, doesn't he?
As well as being adaptable, they have enormous energy.
Comes from a very successful kennel in Italy, handled by Don Monroe, well known in the breed. The breed takes its name from where he derives, the Kerry and also the colour, Kerry Blue. They're born black and gradually lightens to this silky textured blue coat.
6490.
Such pride and temperament on show there. That dog looks fantastic, absolutely on the top of his form.
From the entry of 31, it was the dog 6507 that won through the best of breed.
The Lakeland Terrier now. This is an Australian champion, Louisville Red Sky, Sparky, 4 years old, owned by Sarah Drysdale and bred by Wendy Johnson.
This must be the longest travelled exhibit at Crufts this year, coming from Melbourne in Australia. The owners were ringside to watch, though that's a pretty spectacular win here.
This is another of the terriers, small enough to tuck under your arm, but tough enough to spend a whole day.
The title of the breed tells you where it comes from. It was bred in the Cumbria and the Lake District, essentially a working terrier, unexaggerated. It could keep the vermin down.
His coat is reasonably easy to keep tidy.
Unexaggerated. They're not as long in the head as some of the other terriers. And here's a red. Often we see them in a grizzle colour. This is a clear red. The Lakeland.
Best of breed Lakeland Terrier 6507.
And I'm sure his owners are absolutely delighted he took best of breed, because having come all the way from Australia, I should imagine if they'd come second, they might just have been a little bit miffed.
74 entries. The representative here is the male number.
The Manchester Terrier. This one is Alfie, 3 years old, belongs to Liz and Harry Charlton, handled in the ring by Mick Oxley, who bred the dog.
This elegant and graceful terrier was bred to kill rats.
He's a terrier with flowing lines. Again, a slight rise over the loin and a drop to the tail set. He was bred as a ratting dog, when went rather out of fashion, but now we've got a good population in the show ring. One of the distinguishing features are the black and tan markings and a thumbprint on the front legs.
It's not actually, however, until the 1890s that the name Manchester Terrier appears. 635.
And this particular one was best in show at the Manchester Terrier Club, so obviously a beautiful example of the breed.
Yes, and we can pick up the markings on the front legs there. Lovely wedge-shaped head and neat ears.
And it was 6667, the dog chosen.
The cheeky little Norfolk Terrier. This is Snooker, 16 months old, belongs to Kathy Thompson-Morgan, who of course bred the dog as well. They come from Yorkshire. 2cc, so not yet a champion, still a youngster at 16 months, but this kennel has such a heritage.
During the 19th
Very successful kennel and a great character dogs. The smallest of the terriers, compact cobby, which means they're short-backed and lots of good substance.
His
Yes,
ears should drop forward
So,
at the tip,
black and
whereas
tan.
those of his cousin, the Norwich Terrier, should
They may be
stand
small,
erect
but
when the
they
dog
don't
is
know
at
that. They're
attention.
full of their own importance.
Norfolk
As we
Terrier Best of Breed winner 6667.
And you can see that cheeky little character there, can't you? And the
Bill
folded
Brown
ears.
judged the Norwich and found his best was number 6684, a dog. from
Now the prick ears of the Norwich Terrier by comparison. This is Ragus Cool for Cats, Bevan, 13 months old, owned by Leslie Crawley and Matthew Oddy, bred of course by Leslie.
When Mrs. Normally Rodwell
Again, look at that wonderful ruffian expression. This is the one that came out to inspect the opposition earlier. Yes.
the Norwich Terrier Club was formed. Norwich will work against fox and badger alongside hounds.
Until around the 60s, the Norfolk and the Norwich were shown as one breed, but divided then. Here we have the prick ears of the Norwich, very similar with this broad skull, strong muzzle, short back.
Norwich Terrier 6684. Moving on to the Parson Russell Terrier.
And the word cobby perfectly describes these, doesn't it? There's a lot of terrier in a tiny package.
And although they're low to ground, they still have to have great freedom of movement.
Parson Jack Russell's.
On longer legs, the Parson Russell Terrier. This is Sadie, 2.5 years old, belongs to Kate Smith and Michaela Moon. Kate's handling in the ring, and they bred the dog as well.
In the 1820s and the 1870s.
Again, another workman-like terrier, completely without exaggeration.
A little unsettled there, perhaps, with the tail.
Yes, although they are related to the wire fox terriers in their ancestry, they're not as long in the head, not as high set in the tail, a little lower tail set, but he just looks a bit diffident, doesn't he? She's just looking round a little bit, not quite relaxed. Again, a wire hardy coat.
The Parson Russell Terrier Best of Breed winner 6805.
He's having a little woof at the judge there. I'm not sure I like the look of you.
The Best of Breed number is 6871. And
The Scottish
it's
Terrier. This is Sunny,
1
18 months old.
representing the breed here.
And this one's come from France to compete today, and so unusually that we should see a Wheaton. I don't think I've seen a Wheaton in the group
Yes,
for a long time.
and I was delighted to see it because I judged the breed in France just a month ago. This was my best of breed winner. So when I saw her trotting in today, I was very pleased with that.
Brindle-coloured coat. To his family and friends, he is affectionate and cheerful. Happy to curl up in a favourite armchair, but on his toes in his second.
A lot of substance in a small frame. You know, they have got big ribs, powerful hindquarters, and this long head, which has to be strong in the foreface. Again, the Wheaton, Jessica, as you say, we don't see it quite so often winning best of breed. They are becoming more popular, but of course the blacks and the brindles we see more often.
The Scottish Terrier Club was formed by Captain Gordon Murray in 1882, with strong support from the founder and first chairman of the Kennel Club, Mr. Sir Wallace Evelyn Shirley.
The best of breed winner is Scotty.
And the thing I love most about these is I've never yet met a Scottie that doesn't show temperament with a capital T.
Well, they can be a little stubborn sometimes, but this one is full of beans here. That coat has to be hard and wiry on top.
As the best of breed winner. Originating from the estate of Celium at the very
The Celium Terrier. This is Dua, 4 years old, owned by Sarah Hawkes and Mrs. J. Bledge.
low to go to ground and
Bred by Sarah Hawkes, handled by Marjorie Good from the USA, and a list of champion titles that goes on just about as long as your arm for this one.
Well, he's been best of breed at Crufts before. This is
increasingly popular at the
great achievement.
House-proud owners
Bred in America, and this is Marjorie Good, who was best in show here with the Celium a few years ago. Breed originates in Wales, and again, vulnerable, not many of them bred, and they are wonderful characters. I've had 2 of them and they were marvellous. They're hard work to keep them looking like that though. Now,
The Skye Terrier. The breed was judged
Again,
by
low to
Kennel
ground
Club
but
breed
free moving.
specialist,
They are
and there were 50
rectangular. They
dogs,
should not be
52
cobby
inches.
and short back. They have to be
And their
rectangular.
choice was number 6969 for best breed, a dog.
Now there's a long back for you, the Skye Terrier. This is 4-year-old Lampard, owned by Sue Breeze, who also bred the dog, and they come from Derbyshire. Such a characteristic head with those enormous ears and all the coat.
Occasional bathing to keep it in good condition. But on the plus side,
Yes, wonderful expression, don't you think?
If you can find it.
This is last year's Terrier Group winner at Crufts.
First volume of the Kennel Club stuff book. Another fact, this breed, as you can see, has to be long and low, comes with prick ears, or the less common drop.
Now, diversity in the Terrier Group. Many cobby, this is the longest one. It used to be called yard dogs because it was said that they measured 36 inches from nose to tail. Perhaps there's a bit of folklore in that though, Jessica.
who in Edinburgh around 1858 took up the vigil at his master's
This one,
grave
a
in
prick-eared.
Redfern
They also come in the
until
drop-eared
82
variety.
died. The Skye Terrier best of breed, 6969.
And there has to be an awful lot of trust in the handler, because I'm not at all sure that dog can see where it's going. Perhaps there's the odd gap between the hairs.
It was the dog, 7028.
The soft-coated Wheaton Terrier. This is 22-month-old Bond, owned by Stephen and Barbara Bradford, who also bred the dog, handled by Emma Hobson in the ring. They come from Manchester.
Especially in the counties of Cork and Kerry.
Another from Ireland.
This dog is related to the Kerry Blue, which
Soft coat and Wheaton tell you two things about the breed.
first recognised by the Irish Kennel Club in 1937, and by the
They should have a
Club 6 years later.
soft coat with a silky sheen to it, not woolly at all, and they shouldn't be over trimmed. They have to look rugged, just tidied up a little.
A very balanced-looking terrier, don't you think?
They should be. He's quite young, not fully finished in body or coat yet.
They've become very popular. 7028.
And perhaps a little unsettled there on the move.
And now the highest
Yes,
entry in the Terrier group, the Staffordshire Bull Terriers. This very popular breed needed 2 judges, and this year...
Now, with 367 exhibits at Crufts this year, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier has to be the most popular. This is 3-year-old Rory, both a champion and an Irish champion, owned by Melanie Corcoran and bred by Chris and Elaine Bruton. They come from Dublin in Ireland.
Yes, and great to see him winning. I believe he won the Dog Challenge certificate last year. Lovely free-striding dog. Not far from his native land, you know, the Black Country. He's got some of the bull breed in him, which means he's got some substance. He's a broad skull, strong muzzle, very hard and athletic.
The Staffordshire Bull Terrier, 7-1.
Jessica, they often get a bad press, but you know, they're wonderful family, devoted to their family, loyal companions.
We haven't judged the Welsh Terriers today. We're digging out 40 Welsh Terriers to judge.
Classic outlines of the Welsh Terrier. This is Bullet, 3 years old, an Irish champion, owned by Andrew Potts, bred by Cara Devani. They come from Suffolk. 2cc, so not yet a champion,
The purpose of the breed was to go to ground
but delightful to win at Crufts.
notably rodents,
And very typical in his colour, rich black and tan.
to be the oldest existing dog breed in the UK.
And of course, Gerard Morris has had Welsh Terriers, so there'll be an expert's eye there.
And being a Welshman too, of course, it helps.
It's relatively easy to maintain with a normal degree of trimming.
Built on the same lines as the Fox Terriers, but rather heavier in bone, a little bit broader in the head. Looks like a wonderful coat texture. Should be harsh all the way down the legs. You could almost feel the texture from here. Paul Wilkinson handling. This is his breed speciality. Paul, he judged the Terrier group here at Crufts last year.
A true terrier, combined with a happy temperament. The best of breed winning Welsh Terrier, 7517.
Looks ready for anything. Very business-like expression on that terrier's face.
Another very popular breed. And they were judged today by Mrs. Sue Thompson. And she chose
Now, the last of our terrier group, the instantly recognisable Westie, the West Highland White Terrier. This is 4-year-old Jack, owned by Brenda Metcalf, and bred by Elizabeth Gray.
Has a cheerful, outgoing personality.
Everyone recognises this wonderful westy outline, this lovely shaped head, alert expression, and crisp white coat.
Whatever the weather, it is small enough to kick up and take anywhere.
This is one of the most popular breeds to have as a family pet, but again, their coat needs a lot of work to keep them looking like this. Striding out well. Their head and expression set off by that dark black pigmentation of eye rims and nose. Free striding, very good level top line, tail set at just the right angle.
The West Highland White Terrier. So that concludes the preliminary examination of all of the individual best of breed winning terriers at this year's Crufts.
So Gerard Morris going to take another look at his terriers, and then who is he going to choose for his first pull out?
Gerard's going to have one last look at each of these terriers, and I'm sure he's then going to make a short list. As I mentioned earlier, there were 2,292 terriers judged here today at Crufts. Almost 11% of the total number of dogs.
Yes, well, I think he's got plenty to choose from here, Jessica. What's your fancy?
Oh, I love that little Cairn Terrier. I thought the Irish went really well. What did you like?
Well, I think the Wire Fox Terrier looked smart as paint and went really well, and is a lovely example of the breed. A very nice smooth with that clean flow of neck into shoulder.
So muscular and powerful, but you're right.
There
look
he
at
is.
that
Doesn't you
wire.
look a picture? Doesn't you look a picture?
Handled to perfection.
We have the terriers and the hounds.
But look at that Irish. Very nice. And the Kerry.
It's been a long day for these best of breed winners, but I'm sure you'll agree they've all put up a superb performance. So
The little Lakeland.
And here's something, if you don't want to do all the trimming, there's the Manchester Terrier. a duster does it, yes, yes.
Well, that's one way of putting it. The Terrier for the lazy bones.
show your appreciation for the wonderful job they've done.
Scotty, absolutely on the edge of everything. What's going on?
Giving the judge the eye, yes.
That's probably the dog equivalent of pick me. Down to the Staffy. Such a popular breed.
Look, you can see the muscle from here on that.
Crufts is being televised on More 4 this evening, followed by...
So as
Channel
Gerard Morris
4,
takes that final
and
look,
then
just
on
reminding
Saturday
himself of what he liked in the
Channel
group,
4
and now
for an hour and a
he'll
half
make his
each.
cut.
So please make sure you watch these programmes. The viewing figures have been superb, especially for the finale.
It looks like a quality group, Frank, don't you think?
Yes, yes, he'll have to stand back now and decide which 8 or so he'll want for his shortlist.
And he's taken the Airedale.
Dogs is the Airedale Terrier,
The Border comes in next.
followed by the Border Terrier.
And it,
And the
yes, there's
On down the
there's the
line.
Cairn coming out, and the Wire Fox Terrier,
Terrier, the Irish Terrier.
and the Irish. That's 2 for the Sarandon kennel into the last cut.
The Norfolk.
The Norfolk's coming out, and the Staffy, and the Sealyham.
The Sealyham Terrier. the
Oh, how
Staffordshire
lovely.
Terrier.
Well, I'm glad my 2 got in.
Yes, we're into 8 in the shortlist. Oh, in comes the soft-coated Wheaton as
And
well
soft-coated
to make it
Wheaton
9.
Terrier makes a short list of 9 terriers.
There's the choice
Thank
of
you very
9.
much to
He'll
those other best
have
of
another
breed
look at
winning
these
terriers
moving
tonight.
before he
Ladies and
makes
gentlemen,
his final decision.
Put your hands together as they leave the ring. So we have 9 shortlisted
So
terriers.
that's it. We've got 9 in our shortlist.
Terrier Group Crufts 2014. And I know Gerard's going to move these dogs one more time.
And now
this
we
is
get to see
your
them moving
opportunity.
again. A good chance for the judge to to look at the finer points of the construction of the dogs he's pulled.
The Airedale Terrier.
And he's looking at the movement out and back, looking for soundness, breed-typical action.
And performance, of course, at this level.
Of course, because a lot of them are big winners. This was best in show at the National Terrier last year, this Airedale bitch.
Kira.
Which is the Border Terrier.
And here's the little Border Terrier, one of the most popular. Thomas, 3.5 years old.
And he's a group winner too, so you can see the level of quality we've got here.
The little Cairn with that fabulous cheeky face, rising to the occasion, full of excitement.
Lovely top line and balance.
And the Wire Fox
The
Terrier.
Wire Fox Terrier.
327. And this is also here.
Basically not putting a foot wrong.
And holding that top line with its tail bang on top.
And now the turn of the Irish Terrier. 6'4".
The racier russet outlines of the Irish Terrier.
And again, raring to go. Tiptoe of expectation.
And the Norfolk.
The little Norfolk, perhaps not quite so steady in front.
No, it's not.
Looks like it's very slightly lame in front there. Maybe just tired at the end of a long day. It's a little dog with little legs.
The Staffordshire Terrier.
And here's one that can stride out.
Perhaps getting a little overexcited. The Staffy, that's better, a
Really
bit more settled.
powering along with his hindquarters there.
And the Sealing
The delightful
Terrier.
American-bred Sealing.
6940. Another male.
Born in the USA, and he was, yes.
And the last of our finalists, the soft-coated Wheaton Terrier youngster.
028.
Yes,
Another male.
Bond, just 22 months old.
a bit flamboyant in his action there. He's enjoying the occasion.
That's a nice way of describing it. So as Gerard Morris takes a final look at his lineup, the boards are coming out.
Now,
Of the finalists for Crufts 20.
full of concentration. That border
Who's going
looks
to take the group?
lovely in outline.
I think he's got a cracking final 9.
Gerard just takes one final look. The 9 shortlisted dogs. There are 8 males and 1 female. And the winner of the Terrier Group, Crufts 2014, is...
Oh, Frank, spot on. It's the Wire Fox Terrier takes the group.
Yes.
King, champion King Arthur Van Home takes the group. The Staffy into second.
And the Sealing getting third place in the group.
It's the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. And in fourth,
Oh, it's the,
We got that the wrong way around. Celium in second, Staffy in third, and that gorgeous Irish Terrier takes group 4. But there we have our winner, absolutely on the tiptoes of expectation, shown to perfection. The Wire Fox Terrier, King, takes the group.
By Gerald King, chairman of Crufts.
and looking around, he's pretty pleased with what he's done. See that lovely head and expression now. Young Warren will be very pleased with that.
The third of the finalists for Crufts 2014 is the wire-haired Fox
And here we have the
Terrier.
presentation,
Put your hands
the
together
group
for the
trophy,
winner of the Terrier Group, Crufts 2014.
going to Warren Bradley, who's handling the Wire Fox Terrier.
Gerald Morris.
King is king of the day today.
Shake of the hand for the Celium.
Celium in second place. Of course, it was the Celium that took the Terrier group with Marjorie a few years ago and went on to Best in Show. I wonder if our Wire Fox Terrier will go on to Best in Show.
Wow.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a
And that's the Irish Terrier who takes 4th place.
round of applause.
So we're going to see a lap of honour now for our group winner, the Wire Fox Terrier.
The Wire Fox Terrier. The Celia
Pleased with that, Frank?
Yeah, very pleased. It's a good selection.
and the Irish Terrier.
firm top line, really striding out. He looks a picture.